It's coming up next on Fox Soccer.
The legendary New York Cosmos are back, and to mark the club's rebirth, Umbro has applied its celebrated football tailoring ethos to the brand new 2011 collection. Anthem jacket, Cosmos tees, New York Cosmos jersey, 1976-1977 home jersey. For the complete New York Cosmos line, go to soccer.com/Umbro.
WPS is on Fox Soccer. The Breakers look to stay hot against the Flash. Live Sunday, presented by Puma. The CONCACAF Champions League. MLS teams battle the top clubs from their own backyard. All fighting for their chance to raise the cup as champions. The CONCACAF Champions League on Fox Soccer. This summer, exclusive international rivalries are on Fox Soccer. Chelsea take on the best in Asia. The BPL compete against Hong Kong's first division. Man City and Inter square off in the Dublin Super Cup. Top BPL teams take on the MLS. World's most prestigious clubs are in the Audi Cup. Don't miss any of the action this summer, only on Fox Soccer.
This program is brought to you by WorldSoccerShop.com. Follow World Soccer Shop on Twitter for special offers, coupons, product launches, and more.
At WorldSoccerShop.com, you'll find the world's largest selection of officially licensed merchandise for Copa America 2011 this summer. You can save on gear for South America's top soccer powerhouses, and for a limited time only, get free shipping on all orders. Enter coupon code 7COPAFS at checkout. Log on and save on your official Copa America gear today. WorldSoccerShop.com, powered by passion.
Also get a free flight.
You know that comes with a private island.
Really?
No, it comes with a hat. You see, airline credit cards promise flights for 25,000 miles, but
there's never any seats for 25,000 miles.
Frustrating, isn't it? But that won't happen with the Capital One Venture Card. You can book any airline, anytime. Hey, I just said that. After all, isn't traveling hard enough?
Ow. To get the flights you want, sign up for a venture card at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet? It's okay. I've played a pilot before.
This broadcast of USL Pro is brought to you by USLSoccer.com. Scores, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLSoccer.com, the official website of United Soccer Leagues. By Umbro, true to soccer since 1924. For more information, visit umbro.com. By the PDL, the destination league for tomorrow's professional stars. Visit pdl.uslsoccer.com for expansion opportunities. And by the W League, the first and longest-running national women's soccer league in North America. Learn how you can be a part of the women's game at wleague.uslsoccer.com. The CONCACAF Champions League gets going with preliminary round action. Tuesday, it's San Francisco of Panama against the Seattle Sounders. Thursday, Alianza of El Salvador against FC Dallas. Both matches are live here on Fox Soccer. Here, Rochester's Bob Lilly goes for career win number 200 without some key players. So TJ Gore and Connor Tobin get deputized at the back, while Justin Evans of Pittsburgh goes with the same team that beat Dayton 3-1 on Wednesday. Captain Louis Rolco is a key man at the back, as well as Nikola Katic, a veteran of the Wars in Pittsburgh. We told you about Jason Yeisley. Jeremy Dayton, also an outstanding player up front for the Riverhounds, who are unbeaten in their last 6 matches. There is Bob Lilly, who wasn't even aware, he said, that he was sitting on 199 career coaching wins until someone brought it up to him today. The Rhinos in black and white will kick off, and they'll attack from left to right here against the all-blue-clad Pittsburgh Riverhounds in a key National Division battle here on the USL Pro Game of the Week. Live from Rochester, New York, Ken Tomash and Keith Tabatsnik with you. It was knocked long by TJ Gore, getting a rare start tonight because Quavis Kirk, who normally would be at that right back position, has an ankle problem, and their captain, Troy Roberts, is also out with a knee injury. And lastly, Alfonso Matagalvan, who gets things going in their midfield, is out. So it's a bit of a makeshift lineup for Bob Lilly tonight.
Yeah, in fact, those are three tough players to lose all at once. You lose one of them here and there, and you can cover for it. It's probably the first time this year that Tobin and Bellamy have been together in the center back. They both started and played games there, but with other players.
Here's Thomas Gray on that right wing, racing to try to get there, and does win the first corner for the Riverhounds. So a set-piece opportunity early, and when you're on the road, you like to get those set pieces.
I tell you love those set pieces, especially when you have Jeremy Dayton and Jason Yeisley in the box to get in the end.
Gray, it's this one, and it's headed away by Rich Costanzo. Referee Steve Montanino apparently saw a foul in the box, and therefore we will go back the other way with a free kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by USLsoccer.com. Scores, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLsoccer.com, the official website of United Soccer Leagues. Neil Kitson, who took over for the retired Scott Vallow and has been outstanding in the nets for the Rhinos, will put this ball back in play. Everyone over on the left side of the field. It's Gray trying to keep it in on that far side, and does, and Dayton cannot keep it in. It'll go out. It'll be a throw-in for Rochester on the far side. So Costanzo, Tobin, Bellamy, and Gore at the back. Costanzo and Bellamy started last week's match in Orlando.
Here you see those four at the back, and there's always going to be one of the center midfielders right in front of that back, almost a back five defensively.
You see Matt Tuttle, Shintaro Harada, Defender of the Year in the league last year, now playing in a central midfield role, splitting the middle there with Sammy Appia.
And in fact, that partnership in the midfield has been one of the big reasons that Pittsburgh's been able to turn things around. Getting those guys to understand their roles and to play together. They're both very good players. Seen Appia play with Boston University for Neil Roberts a number of times. And Shintaro, he played for Crystal Palace in the time period that I was there. Outstanding player.
The elder statesman of the Riverhounds at age 30, Japanese international. This is a very young team, and Justin Evans said to us this morning, this is the way this league is. A lot of young players, a lot of dynamic talent, young guys, and a lot of guys, 12 of the 22 starters, played their ball in the PDL coming up. So.
No, they absolutely did. And I'll tell you what, I watched a PDL game just this last Saturday. Went down to watch Reading United AC play South Jersey, and very impressed. It was great to see some of these college players I've seen over the last couple of years. And I'll tell you what, for the college coaches, what a bonus to have PDL around now, and such a good level.
You see guys make their way up to the pros, like Tyler Rosenlund, who is here with the ball and swinging it to the other side. J.C. Banks, can he get a foot on this one? Good work by the Pittsburgh defense. Ball loose in the box, and Hunter Gilstrap gets to it. His first touch on the ball comes in the 4th minute.
Another look at this coming in as Banks tries to get by. A sliding tackle there. Almost got away from him. Would have almost got a chance there, but no harm done.
Nikola Katic, big center back. There, and here is Harada being spun to the turf by Isaac Kissi. Kissi getting a start tonight. He worked his way back from a knee injury that cost him the first half of the season.
I see the foul coming in on Shintaro drawing the foul, holding the ball, trying to turn, but hard to turn with the guys going through you like that.
Gray will take a lot of their free kicks. And he's ready. He'll send this one right towards Kitson. It's over his head, and he just barely taps it over the bar for a corner.
I'll tell you, Ken, it didn't look like there was much danger to it at all, but it was just hit that perfect spot where the keeper had to be sure that it was going to go over. You see it's coming in, and Kitson watching it right the way through, and he couldn't take any chances there. Might have come off the crossbar.
Gray has 4 assists on the season, and he nearly got his first goal there, but Kitson able to put it over the bar. They're going to make him take the corner from the other side. Second of the evening for The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who we told you, just 1-7-2 away from home. And that one was at Charleston, which is not an easy place to win. So they're optimistic coming into tonight as Gray puts his foot to this corner kick. In a scoreless match, and it's headed over the bar and out for a goal kick. Keith, both of these teams are part of a core group of 6 teams in USL Pro that have been at this for more than a decade. Further emphasizing USL Pro is the strongest, most sophisticated, and most experienced North American men's professional soccer league below MLS, both on and off the field, as you see that corner go awry.
Yeah, you see Rochester dodge that corner kick, and Rochester obviously one of the top professional franchises around, certainly the top one in USL history, and a lot of credit to the Rochester Rhino owner, Rob Clark, and the GM, Pat Ercole. It's a team every year, all 15 years have been in postseason in the playoffs.
And if we can get 3 points tonight, they will clinch that 16th playoff spot. But here as we hit 6 minutes played, we are scoreless between the Rhinos and the Riverhounds. Sterling Flunder will take the throw here. That goes out off Tony Donatelli's head, so the Riverhounds pick up a little real estate. Flunder plays it forward. Gives it right away to Isaac Kissi. He's got some speed to burn. Pokes this one forward to Hamilton, another speedster up front. Well done by the Hounds to break that play up. Now it's Jason Yaisley with it. Sammy Appia. One of the back line to Nikola Katic. We see the Rhinos forwards putting some pressure on that back line. They know that early in the season, including the last time that these two teams played, a 3-0 win by Rochester, the Hounds were a little careless with the ball at the back, and it hurt them.
Careless with the ball at the back, and also maybe not coming out of the gates very fast when the game started as well. And certainly you're playing at home. And the thing with Rochester, well, they've been playing well. They have lost 2 of the last 3, of course, both to Orlando City Islanders, the top team in USL right now. Having said that, they felt they played quite well.
Well, we told you, Pittsburgh, I mean, they're trying to make the playoffs for the 2nd straight year, something they've never done. And Riverhounds president David Wilkes built a real good organization there with some good people focusing on developing youth. Great camp program, youth programs. And Justin Evans, just 34 years old. He does look like he could still play, but he said, you know what, I really couldn't. So he didn't think about coaching, but here it is, and he has his team in the thick of the playoff hunt with 3 weeks to go.
Yeah, he does. He's going to be a really good coach, and he's got the right mentality. We had a great chat with him today, and just his outlook on things is very good, very mature, and he's a very good player. Obviously knows the league extremely well, and look, he made the adjustments partway through the season. It's turned things around for them.
Here's Hamilton now. Closed down there by Katic. Plays it off to Banks. Banks will have a shot, and Gilstrap makes the save, adding to his league-leading total. Gilstrap leads the league in saves now with 82, as Banks finally gets the first shot against Justin Evans' team.
I see Banks coming in and having a pretty clear shot. Defender did not get on the shooting foot quick enough, but obviously that shot was not going to really test Gilstrap. 8 shutouts on the year.
Maybe one of the easier ones of his 82 saves. But there will be more tonight, because here comes Donatelli playing this on to the right wing where TJ Gore has it. Played into the box. Kissi gets a foot on it and puts it out into the parking lot almost.
Yeah, I think Kissi wanted to have a highlight goal there, but he really did a great job to flick it on. Probably should have put that ball across the middle. We have a look at it again. It comes and watch. It's a nice, clever touch. Exactly what he wanted, but at that point, either change your mind or put it across the middle and hope something happens. But it's going to be a very tough goal to score.
Louis Rocco, and Rocco was right there. Yeah. And Justin Evans told us that's what Rocco gives him at the back is terrific organization back there as Jason Yaisley goes down, courtesy of Tyler Bellamy, who's fortunate, I think, not to go in Steve Montanino's book.
I think he's very fortunate. He had some words from the referee on that, and he certainly came up and made a statement to Yaisley that he's going to be around him all game. Have a look at this again, and he just comes right into the back of him. I don't know what he's really complaining about, because that is a foul.
Gray's last free kick nearly scored. This one is grabbed at the 6 by Neil Kitson. So they're going to have to keep an eye there on Mr. Gray and those long free kicks that he's expertly put them into the box twice now. We've played 10 minutes.
He's put them in there, and that one was a little more routine for Kitson. The other one, obviously, a real tester. But Kitson is Not going to have too much trouble with those. Outstanding goalkeeper, St. John's University with Dr. Dave Mazur's group. And in fact, he had the lowest goals against average in the NCAAs in 2008, and St. John's great run that year.
Well, Bob Lilly, actually Lilly and Evans, both of these teams were disappointed not to continue their run in the U.S. Open Cup. Of course, the Richmond Kickers still alive, beat Sporting Kansas City in the quarters a couple weeks ago, and they're going to go play the Chicago Fire next month in the semifinals, so they're really carrying the flag for USL Pro in the Open Cup.
They are. In fact, they're the first teams in the USL since Rochester in 2009 to reach the Open Cup semifinals. And actually, if they defeat the Fire, they'd be the first side since the Charleston Battery in 2008 to reach the Open Cup final. And of course, the Rhinos remain the last USL side to win the Open Cup in 1999.
Yeah, 12 years ago, they did it at Columbus Crew Stadium, and this beautiful stadium here has been built since then. Just over 5 years old as the Rhinos try to do something for this crowd. Isaac Kissi waits, now flicks it back again at the edge of the box. Donatelli now. Swerving ball to the far post, and Gray lets that one just ride out of play.
I think Gray was in the middle of what he was going to do there, but that before actually might have been one for Kissi to try a volley.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Umbro, true to soccer since 1924. For more information, visit umbro.com. We're at Salem Stadium in Rochester, New York for the USL Pro Game of the Week. Ken Tomash, Keith Tabachnik with you. As Hunter Gilstrap sends his goal kick across midfield. Drew Cost got a head on that one, but Sammy Appia got a foot to it. And here's TJ Gore sending it high in the air. Kissi, who's been active here in the early going with a couple of chances, but Drew Cost comes up with that one.
Kissi's been very active. It seems all the balls have been in the air with him, though. He hasn't got it on the ground yet.
Forward to Jeremy Dayton. Shintaro Harada. Little back heel, far side to Gray. That was Ben Horner, rather, the right back who had pushed up a bit. Now Gilstrap launches one. Yaisley tries to get on the end of it. Bellamy got his head to it first. Tracked down by Donatelli here on the near side for Rochester. Kissi with an ominous amount of space there in the midfield.
Well, that was a careless back heel. That's the type of back heel that can lead to a counterattack for the other team.
Steve Montanino, you saw there, our referee, has been refereeing since the age of 15. So this isn't his first rodeo. In fact, he's the only national referee from Western New York. So not a long trip for him to come to this match tonight. Bellamy to Rosenlund. Here to Gore, and now the Pittsburgh forwards and wide mids put a little token pressure on, and they go back to Kitson. Now Rosenlund. We'll try Drew Cost. Cost playing against his former Penn State teammate Jason Yaisley in this match. They were both stars under Barry Gorman there. Now Harada. Back to Gray. Now Ben Horner. And the Riverhounds will reset. Captain Louis Rolco. Blunder closed in on the near side touchline. Puts it back to Gilstrap. Bellamy was looking for the offside flag, and there it is.
It's the assistant referee waiting to see where the ball came down to, and it was obviously pretty close. Actually, almost looked like he was just hoping. Bellamy was hoping for an offside call, but it actually was. And I'd say from the other end, it was time where Pittsburgh could have kept the ball instead of lumping it upfield.
Into Kissi. Kissi in the box. Still alive. And now it's taken away from him. And we've got a Rochester player down, and that is Kissi. And he's holding that right knee. You see the brace on it, and that is the knee that kept him out of play for the beginning of the season. And so they're going to call for the athletic training staff to come on, and you definitely don't want to see this, especially with an exciting young player who means so much to this team. He was a good goal scorer a year ago, and they were hoping for big things from him this year, but he got hurt, and now if he's shaken up again,
And it's not only that, he's been the most active player in the attack for Rochester. You know, we catch it just as he goes, and it's caught right there. You know, whether it was his ankle or whether it turned his knee when the ankle was hit. But it is the knee they're working on, so sometimes, you know, that just turns the knee the wrong way.
Well, they're getting him up. Since he was tended to, that's good to see. He is up and walking off. We're here in the middle of the summer, and you know what that means. A lot of great names from the soccer world are coming to these shores. Orlando played Bolton Wanderers last Sunday. They've got Newcastle at home tomorrow night. They expect a huge crowd. There are Geordies coming over from Newcastle for that match. And Portsmouth on Wednesday will be at Charleston to play the Battery. So it's a real big summer of international friendlies for USL Pro teams.
No, it is, and the teams love coming over to the States and playing, and the crowds turn up for it. Obviously, as you said, Newcastle, they're some of the most fanatic fans in the world, but you know, it's part of the USL Pro model to bring over top international teams and forming the partnerships also with the MLS teams that they have, and such as the Harrisburg City Islanders and Philadelphia Union, you know, to name one of the big partnerships that's going on.
So Kissi has come to the near side here, and looks like he'll rejoin the fray at the next opportunity as Kolakatic, better here Shintaro Harada. We want to talk about international flavor. Shintaro Harada, the Japanese player, and Kolakatic.
I'm sure Shintaro's having some good bragging rights lately, unfortunately for our U.S. women's team, but
now here's Ben Horner. Gray, inward to. Oh, and that may result in a card. We'll see. It's definitely a talking to. Sammy Appia.
Well, my guess is now each team's had their one talking to, and the cards will come out after that. And look at Sammy going in, little dive and gets the foot. You know, and again, easily a bookable tackle.
Seen it, but here through the first 17 minutes and change. No cards yet, no goals yet. A couple of shots, a couple of chances. A lot on the line for both of these teams, as we talked about. Pittsburgh hoping to maintain that place, maintain the hot streak, and maintain that place in the playoff position. And Rochester, with the hopes of having home field advantage throughout the playoffs, pretty much gone after losing twice to Orlando in the last few weeks, but they can still win the division. They can still host a couple rounds of the playoffs.
And I think with Pittsburgh, they've already played 20 games, and they just need to grab enough points to just keep a comfortable margin ahead of New York.
Right now they're level with Los Angeles on points, and New York breathing down their necks. Still a lot of soccer to be played in the last 3 weeks of the USL Pro season. It's Isaac Kissi, who is back in the game, gets the ball back, heads it on here. Here's Hamilton, plays it off to Donatelli. Donatelli gets it to his left peg. A save by Hunter Gilstrap. And Kissi was right there for the rebound and couldn't put it home.
It was an outstanding save. Player of the game right now so far, 18 minutes in. And you're looking at the guy who did it, outstanding reaction save. Look at this, good composure here for the ball being played across. And this looks like, he thinks he's got it in. Defender gets in behind as well to try to save it. And you're right, look at the rebound come right out. And Kissi's almost right there, just misses it.
Another one sent into the box. Costanzo got there, and it's finally cleared. Penalty knocked back to Bellamy. And he'll send it high in the air. Donatelli with a slip head. And Rocco gets there. Tuttle with pressure from Gore. Drew Koss chests this one down. Tyler Rosenlund. Here's J.C. Banks. Will he have another go? It's broken up there by Katic.
This is what Pittsburgh needs to do right now, is just string some passes together. That's 4 passes and then played forward, and lose it. And they didn't need to still. They need to almost to rest themselves defensively. They got to keep the ball.
They were halfway there. Everything was good right up to the point where they lost the ball.
It's one of the things that happens when you've got big guys up top. Sometimes you in your mind, you think they're big, I'm going to knock it up there, and you do it when you're not really, don't need to. And these players, Dayton and Yazi, obviously big players, and You know, they're relying on balls in the air. Maybe they flick on or whatever. But right there, they've defended a lot so far this half. They need to keep the ball.
Koss sent that one out of the far side. Throw in for the Hounds. Geisley gets chest to it. It'll bounce around over on that far side, which has been a popular route tonight. Here's Hamilton, stays upright, but pushed that one too far out in front of himself. They look for Dayton again. And it'll be knocked back to Neil Kitson. We hope you're enjoying the USL Pro Game of the Week. In addition to this broadcast package on Fox Soccer, you can see more than 100 games live on USLLive.com. You can also enjoy USL action through our USL Breakaway magazine every month. So you fans have never been closer to the passion, excitement, and tradition that lives in USL Pro. Now in its 25th anniversary season, United Soccer League's developing the game, clubs, players, and the future has never looked brighter. Maybe a goal is in our future here as Gore sends this one across. Louis Rocco is there, and again, it just avoids Hamilton, but Banks will have a go and put it over the bar.
Again, nice quick half turn by Banks there for the shot. Just needs to put it on target, hit the top of the ball. But again, you know, you do feel like a goal's coming for Rochester. Every time they come down, something seems to be happening. And this man's is going to have a long night, a lot of work if they're going to keep Pittsburgh into the game. Have a look at that again. You know, clearly, you see Banks just leaning right back in, trying to hit that ball as hard as he could.
Banks making his 12th start. He's done well. The son of former player Jimmy Banks. Costanzo now.
Costanzo, another one, was a Penn State connection. He went to Penn State before transferring to Maryland and helped Maryland to a national championship.
This portion of the match brought to you by the PDL, the destination league for tomorrow's professional stars. Visit pdl.uslsoccer.com for expansion opportunities. PDL season, of course, wraps up this weekend. Things are getting really exciting as we get down to the wire. Number of division and playoff races. 13 teams are already in the playoffs. But in the Heartland division, you see Real Colorado, Thunder Bay, and Des Moines fighting it out for 2 berths there. Thunder Bay was in the Final Four a year ago. Vancouver, Victoria, and Abbotsford fighting out for 2nd place in the Northwest division.
Just make sure that you're tuning into Fox Soccer on August 6th for the PDL Championship live.
These guys, of course, hope to be playing at this level very soon. A lot of these guys we mentioned, 12 of the 22 starters, did play in the PDL. Tyler Rosenlund. Here's Banks again. Banks will send this one in over the head of Hamilton. Donatelli with another chance at it. And finally, the Rhinos break through. And it's Isaac Kissi in the 23rd minute.
Well, Kissi has been the most active guy in the attack all night, and he's been deserving to get on the end of something. It was Donatelli who was going to set him up for it. Sneaks in behind the defense, a good ball across. Somewhat of an easy goal, but you got to be in the right place at the right time, and Kissi was there. Have another look at this. Ball played across by Banks, also a guy that's been really active. And, you know, this was a case of Matt Tuttle allowing Donatelli to get in behind him. And there it is, a somewhat easy clinical goal, a little cross and flick in for Kissi.
Kissi in just his 2nd start of the season breaks this game open in the 23rd minute. Donatelli with his 2nd assist of the season.
And it was Kissi's 2nd goal of the season. A lot of seconds on that one.
Deuce is wild here in the 24th now. USL Pro Game of the Week, and that brings this crowd alive. Now we'll see how Pittsburgh reacts. I told you they've just won 1 game on the road all season. Got a young team. They've got confidence after that 6-game unbeaten run. It is just the 1 goal.
Yeah, they had a good midweek game Wednesday night, defeating Dayton 3-1 after Dayton scored first. And they responded very well, being down 1-0 on Wednesday. And of course, that is just 2 nights ago.
So now the Rhinos with the lead and the ball. Here's J.C. Banks again.
One more, in, Sterling!
Kissi gets it from behind. Banks sends it up. Hamilton chests it down. Kissi thinking a 2nd goal that gets deflected off the captain, Louis Rocco, and scooped up there by Hunter Gilstrap. Gilstrap, a very interesting player. Played in college with Clemson and the College of Charleston. Started his USL career in 2003 with the PDL's Greenville Lions, and he was goalkeeper of the year in USL 2 last season. And Justin Evans feels he's a guy they can really build around. They signed him to a 2-year contract. They want him here at the back, setting the tone defensively, and he's done a remarkable job.
Well, no question. He's done an excellent job tonight. There's not a thing he can do about the goal other than get his players organized in the right spots before the ball gets in.
Made the first save, and the rebound was sitting right there.
But in reality, it wasn't a difficult positioning for Tuttle to get back into. And I think, perhaps he didn't think the ball was going to get all the way across.
Now here is Tuttle. Pressure put on by Rosenlund. Spins away from it. Plays it over to Ben Horner.
And Tuttle did well there, and this is what Pittsburgh needs to do, is keep the ball moving. It's been so seldom that they've had more than 5 passes in a row before giving up, and then you're going to defend a long time against a good team like Rochester. You will give up chances.
Matt Tuttle now. Sterling Flunder, who'd pushed up from left back before Yaisley could get there. It cost. His former mate with Penn State got there. Tuttle goes down. They play advantage. Parada. Could have gone one more with that. Finally, they do find Horner on the far side in the 27th minute. And Rochester's forwards keep still putting the pressure on, hoping to get a turnover or something that they can turn in.
Well, if you look at that, there's a loss of possession without pressure that time. You get a little pressure on, they'll actually be stealing balls in the midfield and getting on good counterattacks. Pittsburgh just has to be more patient. As you said, it's only one goal, and it could be nothing worse than giving a ball away in the back now and being down 2-0 all of a sudden.
Thank you. Hold it a second. Time.
Now Horner knocks this one long. Cost gets there first for Rochester. Donatelli has to chase this one back on the other side of midfield. Doesn't have a whole lot of options in front. Now J.C. Banks makes a run. They found pretty decent success with Banks, and they get their first corner kick of the evening.
No, they have. In fact, most of Banks' other runs have been on the inside of the defender. That time he's around the outside. An excellent through ball, turning the defender around for Banks getting onto it and earns a corner kick.
21-year-old from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sends this corner in. Gilstrap leaps up and grabs it, and at 6'3" and built like an Adonis. I mean, you got to see this guy. The only thing really is the mustache. That's really the problem. Actually, if you'll watch tonight, if you'll take a look, that the Riverhounds have all grown mustaches. It's kind of a team unity thing. I think the NHL playoff beard is a little bit better. Not everybody's thrilled with it, but some guys it looks pretty good on.
I'm not sure I'd want anything extra in the heat that's been going on lately.
Well, you got to watch. If Andrew Hoxie gets into the match for Rochester, he was mustache when mustache wasn't cool. I'm not sure it still is, but he's had his rocking for the last 3 weeks at least. And so the Riverhounds a little late to the party, but here they are now in the 29th minute, chasing a goal. Back to Nikola Katic. Sammy Appio, who hasn't had many touches tonight, and part of the reason is because he can get shoved off the ball like that. He's only 5'6".
Yeah, he's actually needs a better touch away from the pressure there, then lay the ball off. But him and Shintaro are both very similar players, and right now they're learning to share the field and share that position. But both of them really do the same thing. They get the ball and they keep it. Shintaro has the ability to get in the attack more if he gets high up. As this game goes on, they may need him to do that.
Connor Tobin now to Tyler Bellamy. Now Tyler Rosenlund. A couple Tylers and a Connor in the starting lineup. It's like Bob Lilly's coaching like a U11 team. All right, out-of-town scores. A few games tonight. The LA Blues still hanging in there, leading at Richmond 2-0 in the second half. And in the first half, Charlotte leading Wilmington. That's going to go right down to the wire, too. Those two teams, only one of them probably will make the playoffs. And right now, they come into tonight with Charlotte 5 points behind the Hammerheads. But they could close the gap considerably if they can hold on and win there. We'll be in Wilmington in a couple of weeks.
Yep. Obviously, the understatement to say it'll be an important game because you look at those standings that show the beginning of the match, and obviously it's going to come down to the last week for the final spots.
And what Orlando needed to be able to clinch a playoff spot without playing in league play this weekend, obviously they're facing Newcastle tomorrow night, is for Wilmington to get 4 points. If Wilmington gets 4 points in these two matches with Charlotte, then Orlando will clinch a playoff spot without playing. I don't think there's much danger of the Lions not making the postseason, but Adrian Heath's guys want to be playing well going in their last couple games of the season at home. Get that home field advantage. It's oh so important.
You want to keep the home field advantage, but when you do, make the first hurdle of getting in, you can also start managing time on players that, maybe need some rest or coming off injuries as well.
How important that home field is in the playoffs. Bob Lilly coached the only team to win a championship on the road. This league did it with Vancouver, did it here in Rochester. Now he's coaching the Rhinos very successfully, and this crowd here is obviously happy that it's cooled off a bit because it was over 100 degrees yesterday. It's cooled down considerably. So now it's just a warm night. It's Christmas in July here in Rochester is the promotion tonight, so you will see Santa and his helpers.
Yes, you will. Now the helper for the referee there waved an offside, but Pittsburgh had the ball, so I'm not sure there was any need to do that. Pittsburgh was in a rhythm moving it around.
There you see Santa's helpers in the crowd. And before Matt Tuttle can potentially give his side a present, it's cleared away by TJ Gore. Well, this portion of the match brought to you by the W League, the first and longest running national women's soccer league in North America. Learn how you can be part of the women's game at wleague.uslsoccer.com. Thrown into the box. Yaisley is there, but it's knocked away by TJ Gore for Rochester. Louis Rocco almost with a dangerous giveaway there as Kissi was crashing.
The defenders on Pittsburgh are definitely feeling the pressure, and that was somewhat routine. I mean, you had to get that ball down clean, but he was feeling the pressure coming on him, and gives up almost a bad ball there. Yeah, no question. As you said from the beginning, the forwards for Rochester are trying to put Pittsburgh under pressure, win the ball out of there or off the pass, and go.
And when Pittsburgh is able to get the ball near the forwards, either Dayton or Yaisley, look at the shape by Rochester, straight across the back. They've done well defensively to get back. And now it's Kitson who has to reach and grab this one as Dayton was flying in there alongside him.
And in reality, that was probably the most dangerous ball that Pittsburgh's had tonight. A little bit earlier read by Dayton, and he could get the inside. That ball was dropping low enough that a forward could have got there before the goalkeeper. But you're absolutely right. Defensively, Rochester, those four in the back line are all right together, despite the fact that the two center backs have not played together as starters this year.
Yeah, that cohesion isn't there. A lot of guys have been in and out of Bob Lilly's lineup this year, and still they've learned well. And they've kept a clean sheet here through 33.5 minutes. As that one will go out for a corner kick for Rochester, their second of the night. And it'll be Banks going over to take it. Here's Banks in the 35th minute, curling that one in, and it's into the net! Connor Tobin got his head on that one and put it past Hunter Gilstrap, and it's 2-0 Rhinos.
Watch this, because this is as good a corner kick as you will get. Ball ends, teasing the goalkeeper, and Connor Tobin getting the start in the back. Getting his first goal of the year, though, in the front side. We were just talking about how well they were doing in the back, and he wants to prove he could do it at both ends, but Banks puts in, J.C. Banks, that's his third assist of the year, and you put in corner kicks like that, you are going to get assists.
And you're going to get more playing time, too.
Yes, you will.
It's Tobin with a nose for the goal there. Now the situation very dire for Pittsburgh. As 2-0 down on the road, not where you want to be. We'll see what these young Riverhounds have in them. The ball launched out of the back by Louis Rolco, out of play. They always say the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Maybe 2-0, but if you're Rochester, you're happy you have it right now.
Especially if you're up 2-0 at home. And your team that you're facing just played on the Wednesday. Traveled up here 5.5 hours. Here's Tuttle into the box. Tuttle goes down, and Steve Montanino's not interested.
Well, I'll tell you, that looked close, didn't it? You know, Montanino was right on top of that.
And skips over the head of Sammy Appia, which doesn't have to go too high in the air to do that. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, let's see what it looks like on the replay. And you know, Tuttle doing some good moves, and they're a little shaking and baking, and gets on the inside, and you know, touched a little bit there. You know, when the defender puts his hand up right away, sometimes it's actually a guilt thing.
Here's Hamilton now. Rosenlund. Stanzo knocks this one into the box. Kissi got a head to it, but it went the wrong direction. TJ Gore now. Rosenlund again. You'll see him drift from side to side all over the place. Cheeky little back heel here, and Hamilton tries to turn. Kissi tries to force his way through. It does, and Gilstrap pounces on it at his 6.
Yeah, right now Pittsburgh has no answer defensively for the attack coming from Rochester. But to be honest, the only answer they can have is if they can keep the ball longer. You know, and hope some things open up top.
And that hasn't happened yet.
I'll be looking at Yaisley maybe for the first time going on the ball facing forward.
Yep.
He was still on the side of the field.
Yaisley gets up a little gingerly. Rochester definitely with the bulk of the possession here in the first 37 minutes plus. And they've got the 2-0 lead. Now Rosenlund again. Gore comes back inside to Rosenlund. Shields Appia. Costanzo now. Last 7 minutes and change of this first half will be very telling. See what Pittsburgh's reaction is.
Yeah, I mean, they have no choice, obviously, but to keep trying to, you know, play a little bit better. But these are things, you know, some of these balls are putting them into pressure. And they need to do a little bit more work off the ball to get in better positions, so it's a lot easier to keep it moving.
The last time these two teams met, back on June 17th, Rochester won 3-0 behind goals by Andrew Hoxie and Drew Cost and Rich Costanzo. And so this is a game and a half now, and Rochester's 5 goals to the good on Pittsburgh. Hamilton now cannot get to that one. And so it'll be Pittsburgh's ball. Stanzo knocks that one forward. Kadich just relieves the pressure, but just gives the ball back to Rochester. We'll build again out of the back.
And Ken, that's exactly what the formula has been tonight. A bad formula for Pittsburgh. They get the ball and give it back to Rochester. Rochester does a lot of good things with the ball.
Here's Banks spinning away from Harada. He's got Hamilton as an option in front of him. Gets it to him in the box. Hamilton will serve it back out wide. Donatelli's calling for it on the other side of the box. They do get it over his head. Shield Flunder back out to Gore. Gore now goes to the far post. Banks is there, and Banks suffers friendly fire there at the 6. 2 men down for Rochester. Banks and Kissi, second time tonight that Kissi's had to be tended to by the athletic training staff.
Yeah, they both went into each other challenging for the ball. And, that was certainly a better one, I think, for Kissi coming on to, and Banks was kind of going away from it. But, we'll have a look at this. You'll see just what happened. Watch these two both going at the ball. Banks backing up, so not seeing Kissi, and there it is, head-to-head. And that can't feel good at any time, and certainly not when it's hot out, as we've had too. Good to see Banks getting up, but both players up now, and hopefully they'll be fine.
Justin Evans' club has had to deal with some injuries as well, and getting guys healthy is key to this 6-game stretch here too. A little change in the system and some health. It's been the recipe for getting them back in the playoff hunt.
It absolutely has been. They were playing a fairly strict 4-4-2, and things weren't going well for them. And they made a change, and the big change was getting Apia and Shintaro Harada playing side by side, like two players in front of the back four. Then kind of drop Yaisley behind when Dayton's in the game. When we'll see Chad Seaver probably go in the game, especially with him being back, and then Seaver gets up high, but almost playing like a 4-2-3-1 is what they went to. And since that time, they're very stingy defensively, as we said, but certainly not tonight. And that is their challenge, because at home, Rochester has only given up 4 goals all year.
Saw Evans there talking to fourth official Ashley Cedro. As now we're back to live action in the 42nd minute. We expect a bit of stoppage time here in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk with Rochester head man Bob Lilly about his career. We'll also have first half highlights and stats. It's all coming up at halftime, just about 5 or 6 minutes. Here's J.C. Banks. He survived the collision with his teammate Kissi. Kissi's back in there as well. On a night like tonight, your substitutes bench can be very key. Warm night, obviously, and you're playing against a team that played 2 nights ago.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge challenge for Pittsburgh, both because of being down 2-0 playing away, but also because we're playing 2 nights ago. And Rochester showing that they do have depth. You've got 3 key players out tonight, and so 3 other players starting, and they obviously haven't dropped anything. The level's very high. And that's why they're in first place. You have to have depth both within a game and throughout the season.
Troy Roberts out with a knee injury. Cuevas Kirk has a thigh bump, and Alfonso Matagalvan's ankle will not allow him to go tonight. There's Tyler Rosenlund. And if you're Pittsburgh, somebody's coming off at the half. So if you think it might be you, you've got a few minutes here, you may as well just play all out, because it might be you who gets the nod to come off at halftime, because there are some people on Pittsburgh's bench who can make a difference. Chad Seaver's just one guy we expect to see.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Seaver's is not in right away, and I'd be surprised as well if we don't see Stefan Lundberg, who's got the pace and everything, to maybe make a difference here tonight. Because the one thing, while good players out wide, Tuttle and Gray, not being able to get in behind the Rochester defense, they definitely have to do something. Seavers comes in, maybe they go with 2 up front, strictly. Even Yaisley staying behind, and one of the midfielders comes out.
These two teams are not done with each other. This is the second of 3 meetings. The Riverhounds will be back here to finish the season on August 13th. Next to last day of the season. Counting an Open Cup loss here a year ago, 3-0. This has been a house of horrors as Kissi turns. Maybe he had a little bit more time than he thought he had to maybe settle that one. Instead, tried to get a little bit clever, and instead it's way over there, and Hunter Gilstrap has to try to track down a ball.
It's amazing how the balls don't get into play when the home team is winning, like that so quickly. But actually, I'm not too sure they're not okay with it slowing down a little bit right now and going to the halftime 2-0 down and just regroup.
Here's Gilstrap now to send this goal kick. Boy, he can drive
behind him.
Slip head by Dayton. Oh, Yaisley almost got in.
Got a foul.
Got a foul, though. So here's what Pittsburgh's going to need. If they can't get something out of the run of play, they are going to need free kicks in the offensive third here, which they've got one. We've already seen Gray drill a couple from way farther out than this.
Yeah, both Gray and Tuttle hit good balls in, and Gray has 4 assists on the year, and you know some of them have come from serving balls in, and we'll see what it is. This is a good angle for a ball in just behind the defense, and we can hit a ball like we saw before one of their crosses that almost driven right at the penalty spot in behind.
Tuttle and Gray stand over this one. We're in first half stoppage time, headed on and right to Kitson. Geisley did get his head on that, but right to Neil Kitson.
And that was a good ball. That was the hole that was there. It was all about the timing of a run and the ball being put into that hole for it, and that was a good chance. As good a chance as they've had all night, obviously.
Just 1 minute of stoppage time, indicated by Ashley Cedrew, our 4th official. As Gilstrap races over and grabs this one.
Drop, Tony. Drew. Rosie, drop.
Seconds tick down here at Salem Stadium in Rochester, New York on the USL Pro Game of the Week. Ken Tomash and Keith Tabachnik with you on what has turned into a really pretty evening now that the sun has gone down and temperatures are probably in the mid to low 80s. Welcome respite from the very high temperatures everywhere pretty much in the nation this week, but here in Western New York especially, where it was over 100 degrees yesterday. Pittsburgh tried to eat a little real estate there, and
yes,
that wasn't happening either, even in the dying seconds of the first half of a 2-0 game. Tuttle tried to get to that one, but Gore got there first. Now Donatelli. Steve Montanino checks his watch and whistles the first half of play to a conclusion. Goals by Isaac Kissi and Connor Tobin are the difference, as Rochester is 2 goals to the good after 45 minutes on the USL Pro Game of the Week from Salem Stadium in Rochester. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. We'll be back with highlights, stats, and a conversation with Rochester headman Bob Lilly after this. Don't go away. This is the USL Pro Game of the Week on Fox Soccer.
Transformers are back, and so is the Bacon Cheddar Ranch Tender Crisp at Burger King. Crispy bacon, rich cheddar cheese, and creamy ranch dressing. Not even the end of the world will make you put it down. The Bacon Cheddar Ranch Tender Crisp. Get it before it's gone. See Transformers Dark of the Moon, now in theaters.
You could save a bundle with Geico's multi-policy discount. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Thanks to the Venture Card from Capital One, we get double miles on every purchase. So me and the lads earned a trip to San Francisco twice as fast. We get double miles every time we use our card. I'll take these 2, no matter what we're buying. And all of those? And since double miles add up fast, we can bring the whole gang. It's hard to beat double miles.
Whoa, dude. Get the Venture Card from Capital One and earn double miles on every purchase every day. Go to CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
Nature is unique, pure, and also delicious. Like Nature Valley, granola bars made with crunchy oats and pure honey. Nature Valley, 100% natural, 100% delicious.
Nature Valley sweet and salty nut bars. They're made from whole roasted nuts and dipped in creamy peanut butter, making your craving for a sweet and salty bar irresistible. By Nature Valley.
Dempsey with the ball. What's better than watching a game with Modelo Especial?
Check this out.
Being there. Go to your retailer to learn how to enter to win a soccer trip of a lifetime. Modelo Especial.
Exclusive international rivalries are on Fox Soccer. Top BPL teams come to America and take on the MLS. Don't miss any of the action. Tomorrow, only on Fox Soccer.
If you missed the Dan Patrick Show, you've missed high-profile athletes, celebrities, and of course, the Danettes. Yeah! The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays on FSN.
Takes it in his path. Oh, that is a moment of brilliance.
The broadcast of this match is authorized by United Soccer Leagues. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of USL is strictly prohibited. Tonight's match was produced for USL by Cultural Global Media Incorporated. We are in Rochester on the USL Pro Game of the Week, where the Rhinos lead the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2-0 after 45 minutes of play. Ken Tomash and Keith Tabasnik with you in the USL Pro Game of the Week. Well, the Rhinos are looking to clinch a playoff berth, and Coach Bob Lilly's looking for career victory number 200 as an outdoor head coach in regular season, postseason, and Open Cup play. Before tonight's match, I asked this USL Hall of Famer about milestones and more.
I knew the numbers were getting higher, but when you're coaching, you're trying to get your players to look one game at a time. And I've been blessed. I've been in some good environments. I've coached some teams that for strong organizations, and I've had some very good players. So, it's a nice accomplishment, but hopefully there's a few more wins left in there. Like to think that I've learned some things over the years. Feel like I'm still learning and still every year trying to find my team. Every year the makeup of the team's a little bit different, and you're always trying to get them in a position where they can be successful, make the playoffs, and hopefully have a run at playoff time. I hope that I can coach a few more years and continue to help players. I still find it enjoyable. It is a challenge every year. I think there's the depth of coaches is a lot better now. There's a lot more guys, I think, that have a real good concept of what's going on. There's some young guys like when I was 30 that, have a tremendous amount of energy and are always discovering new things and pushing different buttons. And, I'm finding it incredibly competitive this year, as I have every year, just to try to keep your nose ahead of some of the other teams and give yourselves a chance to win.
Well, Bob Lilly is 45 minutes away from that 200th win, and his team is 5-0 and leading at halftime. We'll be back with more first half highlights and stats coming up. More to eat on the Fox Soccer USL Pro Game of the Week.
The legendary New York Cosmos are back, and to mark the club's rebirth, Umbro has applied its celebrated football tailoring ethos to the brand new 2011 collection. Anthem jacket, Cosmos tees, New York Cosmos jersey, 1976-1977 home jersey. For the complete New York Cosmos line, go to soccer.com/Umbro.
Would you like to beat the high cost of auto insurance? Find a lower rate and lower your monthly payments so you have more cash for other things? Just log on to thegeneral.com or call for a super fast quote. Our rates are very affordable, and right now our monthly payments are as low as $39. You'll also get instant proof of insurance.
Get a quote right now. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Also get a free flight.
You know that comes with a private island.
Really?
No, it comes with a hat. You see, airline credit cards promise flights for 25,000 miles, but...
There's never any seats for 25,000 miles.
Frustrating, isn't it? But that won't happen with the Capital One Venture Card. You can book any airline, anytime. Hey, I just said that. After all, isn't traveling hard enough?
To get the flight you want, sign up for a Venture Card at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet? It's okay. I've played a pilot before.
WPS is on Fox Soccer. The Breakers look to stay hot against the Flash. Live Sunday, presented by Puma. The CONCACAF Champions League. MLS teams battle the top clubs from their own backyard. All fighting for their chance to raise the cup as champions. The CONCACAF Champions League on Fox Soccer. This summer, exclusive international rivalries are on Fox Soccer. Chelsea take on the best in Asia. The BPL compete against Hong Kong's first division. Man City and Inter square off in the Dublin Super Cup. Top BPL teams take on the MLS. World's most prestigious clubs are in the Audi Cup. Don't miss any of the action this summer, only on Fox Soccer.
Major League Soccer takes on the World. Saturday night at 7, DC United hosts Everton. Then on Sunday, the New York Red Bulls are in London to play Arsenal in the annual Emirates Cup. Both matches are live in HD here on Fox Soccer. Meanwhile, in the USL Pro Game of the Week, we're in Rochester, and at halftime, it's 2-0 Rhinos. Welcome back to Salem Stadium, everyone. I'm Ken Tomash, along with Keith Tabetsnik. And let's go right to the highlights in the first half, Coach.
Yeah, well, the first half was all Rochester, and that's what we're going to see in the highlights here. This clever layoff to Tony Donatelli. It looks like it's going in. A great save by Hunter Gilstrap. Pushes it out, keeping Pittsburgh alive for a while. Now we see a little later, J.C. Banks with the cross. It's flicked on. Donatelli again, first-time cross, and that's Kissi in for his second goal of the season. 1-0 Rochester, and it won't take long. 11 minutes later, J.C. Banks on the corner kick, as good as they get. The header by the center back,
Connor Tobin.
Connor Tobin, thank you. Connor Tobin for his first of the year, not usually saying his name in the middle of the goal at that end. And Connor Tobin makes it 2-0 for Rochester.
See the Rhinos out shooting the Riverhounds 7-2 in that first half. Each goalkeeper made a pair of saves, and Hunter Gilstrap adds to his league-leading total with that. Rochester with 2 corners, and they scored on one of them. That's a pretty good percentage, and a fairly, after we saw a little bumping and running in the early stages of the first half, kind of settled down, was a fairly clean rest of the way.
Well, it did, and it's absolutely a fair result right now at halftime for Rochester. Big challenge for Pittsburgh.
Well, the Rhinos, as we said, are 5-0 and leading at the half. Can the Riverhounds do something about that? Find out next when the second half begins on Fox Soccer.
The legendary New York Cosmos are back, and to mark the club's rebirth, Umbro has applied its celebrated football tailoring ethos to the brand new 2011 collection. Anthem jacket, Cosmos tees, New York Cosmos jersey, 1976-1977 home jersey. For the complete New York Cosmos line, go to soccer.com/Umbro.
Exclusive international rivalries are on Fox Soccer. World's most prestigious clubs are in the Audi Cup. Don't miss any of the action. Tuesday, only on Fox Soccer.
Fox Soccer Plus has over 130 exclusive Barclays Premier League games, 70 UEFA Champions League matches, and the world's best rugby competitions. Call 1-877-810-KICK or go to foxsoccerplus.com today.
If you missed the Dan Patrick Show, you've missed this.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
It is gone. Woo! Breaking sports news.
Went to Dallas to cover the Super Bowl and the X Games broke out.
High-profile athletes and celebrities.
Charlie Sheen.
I love every cell of your perfect body. What's not to love, Dan Patrick?
And, of course, the Danettes. Dan! The Dan Patrick Show. Weekdays on FSN.
If you or a loved one used Avandia, Avandamid, or Avandril and suffered a heart attack, stroke, congestive heart failure, or sudden death, you may be eligible for money damages. Call the law firm of Wayne Goss toll-free at 1-800-598-0261. That's 1-800-598-0261. Studies have shown that using Avandia may lead to a significant increase in the risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one have suffered serious side effects or died after using Avandia, Avandamid, or Avandril, call 1-800-598-0261. That's 1-800-598-0261.
Thanks to the Venture Card from Capital One, we get double miles on every purchase. So me and the boys earned a trip to DC twice as fast.
Oh, hi.
We get double miles every time we use our card. And since double miles add up fast, one more chariot, please. We can bring the whole gang.
I cannot tell a lie. He did it.
Right. It's hard to beat double miles.
Read my lips. No new access. Get the Venture Card from Capital One and earn double miles on every purchase every day. Go to CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet? So you're a Democrat, right?
This broadcast of USL Pro is brought to you by USLsoccer.com. Scores, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLsoccer.com, the official website of United Soccer Leagues. By Umbro, true to soccer since 1924. For more information, visit umbro.com. By the PDL, the destination league for tomorrow's professional stars. Visit pdl.uslsoccer.com for expansion opportunities. And by the W League, the first and longest-running national women's soccer league in North America. Learn how you can be a part of the women's game at wleague.uslsoccer.com. Coming up next weekend, a double dip of Soccer Night in America. On Friday, the precocious Philadelphia Union host defending MLS Cup champion Colorado. And then on Saturday, it's the Vancouver Whitecaps welcoming the Los Angeles Galaxy. Both games are at 7 o'clock Eastern, live in HD here on Fox Soccer. 45 minutes in the books here at Salem Stadium in Rochester, New York. Do not adjust your set or look at your calendar. It is Christmas in July is the promotion here in Rochester tonight. Ken Tomash and Keith Tabatsnik with you. Glad to be with you. Hi, everybody. This young man can't wait for Christmas to come, and luckily he hasn't had to wait tonight. And his team is 2 goals to the good against a Pittsburgh team that is looking for answers. And what do you expect Justin Evans might say in response?
Well, he-Man needed to be talking to Santa Claus at halftime because there's not a lot coming out of Pittsburgh tonight. And it does not look like they're making any subs right now, and although there might be somebody, and we'll see when they break up right now. I think Tuttle may have come to the bench.
Looks like the same 11 that started for Bob Lilly, including that man who scored the first goal of the match.
So for Pittsburgh, yes, Jason Cutney is in, and he's at the right midfield, and it was Tuttle that came out, and it looks like Gray has gone over to the left side. So that is the one change. I would expect that you would see Isley playing a little higher up, and of course that's only going to matter if they're able to start moving the ball around and getting it to them. But be surprised if we don't see Chad Severs in at some point too. And Ken, it's really a thing. You're down 2-0, and you're going to hope you make the playoffs, and you find yourself in this position in the playoffs. You're going to have some answers. So here's a time to try to figure something out.
Again, Justin Evans in his first year as a head coach. He's been an assistant coach with the Riverhounds organization for the last couple of years, but it's a little bit different when you're the man in the big chair, as it were. And so it's situations like this that can only make you better.
Absolutely. I always said assistant coach is the best job there is. Changes all around when you're the head coach.
Here's Shintaro Harada now. Forward to Isley with the ball at his feet for one of the rare times tonight. Jason Cutney with his first touch of the ball, lays it back to Ben Horner. Kolakevich now through the midfield, and they really haven't been able to get much out of Sammy Appiah because he's been central.
Absolutely.
It's just been tough for him to do anything once he gets the ball.
And every time it goes to him, somebody is right on him. And he's played every one of his balls. He's had to play backwards or square, except for one long ball that he tried cross field that was intercepted. And he's a good player doing that, but so is Shintaro. And maybe in a game like this where you're down 2-0, you can't really have both those players in at the same time.
We'll see. Sammy Appiah from Ghana, late of the Houston Dynamo.
Outstanding career at Boston University for Neil Roberts. He had 10 goals and 11 assists in his career at BU.
They could use either of those things out of him right now, out of somebody. If they get an assist, it means they've got it on the scoreboard. Right now, they're through 47 minutes. Nothing showing.
We'll probably state the obvious. The first 10, 15 minutes is a real tester for Pittsburgh. Is that can they rebound from being 2-0, regardless of if they score or not? Can they get out and just play a lot better than they did first half? You know, obviously, if you do that, then hopefully some chances come from it.
And we mentioned that Rochester's only given up 4 goals all year at home. Most recently by Jamie Watson, who may be watching tonight in Orlando, getting ready to play Newcastle tomorrow night.
Playing the Magpies, doing their tour of the U.S. We were very honored many years ago when they came to Washington, D.C., and we were able to host them at Georgetown with Sir Bobby Robson as the manager back then. A great experience.
Here's Sterling Flunder now on the far side for Pittsburgh. Again, they'll switch it here on the near side to Ben Horner. That went past Cutney, but it went out off a Rhino. Horner now cheats forward, and that's the second time they've tried that, and Steve Montanino is not going to let that happen tonight.
You can get a few yards, but you get too far. Having said that, it's about the only way that Pittsburgh's been able to get upfield this game so far is walking it up on the throw-ins. They had the excellent chance off the restart late in the second half. Of course, they had the corner kick early in the game, and another one about 10 minutes into the game. It hasn't been a whole lot other than the long free kick that tested Kitson from Gray.
I told you the Riverhounds unbeaten in their last 6, including an impressive win at Charleston, where it's tough to go in and win. This place equally, if not more so. Especially when the Rhinos keep the ball for long stretches, as they have been doing. Tony Donatelli knows exactly what to do with it. So does J.C. Banks. Here's Banks having a go, just puts it over the bar.
Well, Banks was all over the place in the first half, and he's doing the same thing at the beginning of the second half. I mean, he's technically left midfield, but let's just say J.C. Banks' position is all over the place, and he's doing a good job of it. His dad, Jimmy Banks, a former U.S. international, has to be quite proud of him.
You see Hunter Gilstrap, one of only 3 U.S. All-Pro goalies to play every minute for their team, every game this season. Ronnie Pascal of Richmond the other, and Eric Reed of Charlotte, the other 2. He's one of those guys as a coach, you just pencil that in, and that's one of the 11 that you never have to worry about.
Absolutely, and you certainly hope you don't get an injury as the season goes on, and you have a keeper come in who's not tested. But I tell you what, by the looks of him, it's going to take a lot to get him injured. That is a strong player there. Here's
Donatelli now. He was looking for Banks. Stepping in to win that one was Nikola Katic, and he's going to venture forward.
You see a problem there. The confidence in Pittsburgh on offense just isn't there, because as Nikola got that ball and goes forward, no one was moving to get the ball. It's almost like they're expecting to lose it, don't want to get out of their defensive position. And of course, if you do that, you're never going to be able to keep the ball.
Yeisley deflects that one, but it's back to Connor Tobin, who had one of the 2 first half goals. Nice header off the corner kick from Banks.
Well, he did. I had trouble coming up with his name at halftime because he doesn't get forward too often. It was such a great goal. It looked like a classic forward getting on the end of it. And he put that away as well as you can.
Well, it is Christmas in July, Keith, so it's the time of miracles.
It is. I'm not sure he's going to agree with you on that as a miracle, but
he'll take it.
He will take it for sure.
Find that one in your stocking one morning.
Yeah, that's a highlight goal.
Here we're in the 51st minute, and that goal and the one by Isaac Kissi have the homestanding Rhinos 2 goals to the good. Here's Tyler Rosenlund. Cost gives it away. And now a foray forward by Gray. Pittsburgh. Something doing here. Cutney launches one. Far post. Kitson out. He had Jeremy Dayton right there on his shoulder again.
You know, in many ways, that was the first counterattack that Pittsburgh has had all night. You know, we talk about them having to get some stuff in the attack, and one of the big problems that we haven't mentioned hardly ever tonight, Jason Yeisley, who leads Pittsburgh with 5 goals and 2 assists. Jeremy Dayton up front ahead of him has 4 goals on the year also, but These guys have not been able to face goal tonight.
A good defensive game plan by Bob Lilly and Bill Sedgwick, and Billy Andracki. Stanzo gets forward. Banks, we talked about him playing all over the field. We just saw him over on the right side. Now here he is on the left side touchline. Costanzo making a run up the near hand side, gets around a defender. Costanzo to the byline, slides it in front, but Hamilton puts it behind for a corner.
Yeah, it was a nice attack by Costanzo, who actually came into college as a midfielder, did really well at Maryland, got put to the outside back, and this is what he did for the Terrapins, and almost creating another goal, but getting a corner kick, and see if Banks can replicate what he did at the end of the in the second half, and certainly Connor Tobin hoping the same.
Well, Banks would like to have that one back, I think. Didn't hit it nearly as well as he would have liked. Hamilton, a very speedy player, making his 7th start of the year. Bob Lilly has been fortunate, I guess, in a way, that he had some guys who were unable to play early in the season, and it got a lot of guys some time that they might otherwise not have gotten, or they weren't expecting coming into this season.
No, you're exactly right. The reason that they're doing well tonight, that they've had it in there, and I say the big thing that's impressive is the fact that the center backs, and that's the backbone of the team, the spine of the team, Tyler Bellamy and Connor Tobin, while they've played together, they haven't started yet.
Here's Banks, something dangerous here, and Gilstrap smothers that one at the 6.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you think you're watching replays over and over again, that's what it looks like right now. Banks going down the left, just Rochester getting down and getting crosses in, and this is a very good save. Gilstrap making himself very big and getting part of the ball, but also the big part of that was getting on top of the rebound right away.
Now another player down in the midfield, that is Drew Cost, another one of those guys who Bob Lilly said he told maybe wouldn't play a whole lot in his first year with the Rhinos, but was forced to play some and has played very, very well when he's gotten the opportunity. And here he's shaken up, but looks like to the midsection.
Yeah, and and he has had a good game tonight. And also, we're talking about the partnerships, him and Tyler Rosalind, playing together. That's two critical partnerships in the center of the park. And we have a look at what happened to Cost here as he's going in for the ball, and something a little extra at the end. Yeah,
it may have been a knee there that went into the midsection.
But you have to be very pleased, if you're Bob Lilly, that you can have subs come off the bench, start in games as big as this, and do as well as they've been doing.
Gilstrap is on that one. Nice little sequence there as Costanzo scissored that one out of the air and forward. Hamilton was there.
And what I've noticed too with them in the center of the midfield is that if one goes forward, the other one is sitting behind and playing very safe in front of the back 4 of the Rochester defense. And that's one of those reasons. Gisley is really withdrawn, which means he's right with that player. And I really think Gisley needs to get higher up right now. And, sooner or later, if something doesn't change, I would say that they need to take probably Sammy Appia out and get Chad Sievers in, another attacker.
Well, Jeremy Dayton was fouled there by Tyler Bellamy, and that sets up this free kick chance. And once again, it will be Thomas Gray. Gray, who's been expert at placing these long free kicks in that first half. He just drills this one, and Kitson is forced to make a very difficult save.
Oh, wow, did he hit that? That's as well as you'll hit a ball, because not only was it struck well, it dipped as well, hitting the ground first, making it really hard for the goalkeeper to be able to hold on to it. I mean, have a look at how far out that is, and Kitson getting onto it. And I tell you, if there's a little more determination for a rebound, they might have been able to get to the end of that, for a tap in.
Thomas Gray from Neptune, New Jersey. Not a very big guy. Justin Evans likes the charge that he put into that ball. He would have liked it if Neil Kitson had just been not quite so Johnny on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if Thomas did that for Monmouth, for Robbie McCourt's team. He led the NCAA in assists his junior year, actually, and 4 assists on the year in the USL right now also.
He tracks down this one at the edge of the box and plays it back to Flunder. Flunder get one forward into the box. Before they can get anything more dangerous, that one will go out. It'll be a goal kick. Steve Montanino, tonight's referees, having a good match to this point. Nothing too difficult. Kitson, one of the top keepers in the league, had a YouTube sensation with that stoppage time goal in Antigua.
That's right. Well, one thing I've been impressed about quite a bit in USL and the games we watch is the amount of quality goalkeepers in this league. There's no question there's a ton of them with MLS teams have to be looking closely at some of these guys that are actually playing day in and day out versus the guys who's the number 3 keeper on their roster.
Now the Riverhounds on the attack. They've had a couple more chances here in this second half of play. Still a long way to go and a short time to get there as we've almost reached 58 minutes played. There's Kadich. Apia. Corner now with Banks hounding him. Harada. There's Apia again. He will launch one towards Dayton, and they crunch him in a sandwich, but Gray is there. Gray with a shot over the bar. Well, I think someone took the brunt of that. You just think you're walking around in the plaza.
You got to pay attention back there.
When Gray is shooting.
Yeah, because it's rocking. There's Apia putting the ball in, putting it into the big man up top, Dayton, and of course the second ball there, so important, and Gray gets on top of that, but maybe needs to take a little off that to get it on target. Seeing on his restart a little earlier, we know he can put that ball on target, and it could be the way that they have to get a goal is off something bouncing around.
But here are the Rhinos. Rosenlund tries to slot that one through and does to Banks, and only good work by Kadich keeps it from being a very dangerous chance. To Cost now to Rosenlund. Loose ball on the turf, foul called. Tyler Rosenlund wearing the captain's armband tonight, making things happen in midfield as he usually does, as Cost goes down for the second time in the last several minutes as they make a motion to the bench to get the athletic training staff on for him. Elsewhere tonight, and here's a huge result for Pittsburgh and their fans. The LA Blues go to Richmond and win 2-1, so that gives them 26 points and moves them ahead of Pittsburgh into third place in the National Division. And in the second half, Charlotte leads Wilmington 1-0. We told you about that dogfight going down to the wires. And a women's score from the W League Eastern Conference Championships. The Atlanta Silverbacks women beat the Charlotte Lady Eagles 1-0. So Atlanta is headed to Seattle for the 2011 W League Championship presented by Umbro next week. There are other games Saturday and Sunday for the other 2 slots in that Final Four. Toronto, Ottawa, Quebec City, and Laval will go at it starting tomorrow, and then on Sunday it's Vancouver and Santa Clarita trying to get a berth in that Final Four. The Seattle Sounders women will be hosts for the event, and there's a good chance, Keith, we're going to see some of the participants from the FIFA Women's World Cup on the field in Chicago.
Well, I'd say there's a very good chance, considering that more than 60 participants in the FIFA Women's World Cup have W League experience, and of course including the U.S. stars like Abby Wambach, Shannon Box, Heather O'Reilly, Carly Lloyd, Alex Morgan, and this league, the W League, is outstanding and certainly the best professional women's league in North America, if not the world.
Speaking, of course, of the women's game and Abby Wambach, we had a huge crowd here, over 15,000 in this very stadium just the other night on Wednesday night to watch Wambach's homecoming. Of course, grew up here in suburban Rochester, Pittsburgh, and so she had tons of fans here, and the women's game definitely on the rise, and some exciting announcements coming about the future of the W League as well. So the stars that you saw play on the field in Germany and have thrilled to in your communities will have places to play at whatever level, from the youth level to the Pro-Am level to maybe the professional level.
Well, certainly the Women's World Cup was exciting, and congratulations to Japan, but also to the U.S. team.
Well, Wambach, people forget, she played in the W League. She played for the Rochester Ravens here in her hometown. Shannon Box, Heather O'Reilly, Carly Lloyd, Alex Morgan, all with W League experience. Morgan, I think, is going to be the next star from a lot of different perspectives. And Drew Cost was not able to continue, and so in the 61st minute, Kenny Versailles is in. First substitution made by Valdeli, and there he is with the ball, number 16 in white.
And Kenny is a very talented player as well, very skillful on the ball. If you see the ball get to his feet, you're going to see some nice stuff, good touch, and can keep the ball going, also get into the attack a little bit. But again, a good player to be able to bring off the bench.
Now Donatelli's going to get a little talking to there.
We watch this again, and
a little high boot there.
It was Versailles with a little touch, and then Donatelli making sure the job was done. Again, that's Yaisley has been fighting hard tonight to try to get anything going, but you know, one of the big problems, if you think about it, for Pittsburgh, the fact we have not said Yaisley's name very often.
The leading goal scorer with 5, and he's in the box now, and Gray will flick it to him over his head. Harada is there. Kitson with a save, ball sitting on the fence. The flag is up though. Harada is going to go right to the referee, and he cannot believe. I don't know if he can't believe that he missed the chance or that the offside flag came up.
Well, we're trying to see the referee's looking over at the assistant referee, and I wonder if they thought maybe it was even over or something there, but Harada is very upset.
Oh, he's upset because he got nailed from behind by Tyler Bellamy.
Yeah.
That's what he's upset about. He wants, first he slips and falls in this turf. Kitson with the acrobatic save. Harada's coming in, and he gets nailed from behind.
I'm going to tell you one thing. If the offside flag was up before that, fair enough. But if it wasn't, that's a penalty. No question about it. And Shintaro has every right to be quite upset. Now he's got to keep his cool, too, because Pittsburgh doesn't want him to do something where they lose him. You know, going down where every game is so important. But, you know, that was certainly as clear as can be. And I can only say that the flag must have gone up before that.
Well, Harada still learning English, and I don't know how much of, you know what you always learn first in any language.
Yes.
I don't know if he used some of what we would call sentence modifiers.
Well, I know Shintaro fairly well from days at Crystal Palace, Baltimore, and, you know, he does know the English he needs to know.
Here's Rochester now. Oh, they were trying to get it to Kissi, and Kadich was there to break that up. So Pittsburgh, with this game still just 2-0 here in the 65th minute. That would have been quite the opportunity there if.
Absolutely, and in fact, I watch Shintaro is going to actually step up another gear right now. And when he gets upset, he actually gets quite good, and you know, he's going to be all over the place and active. It might be the time, if you're going to take Sammy Appy out, this might be the time to do it and let Shintaro take over the midfield.
TJ Gore got his head to that one. Here's Harada. And that one got away from him, but I believe he got fouled, and Rosenlund is going to go in Steve Montanino's book. First discipline of the evening.
Yeah, and I'd have to say that may come from an effect of Shintaro's English was just good enough to convince the referee that the next time something had to happen, because we've seen some worse fouls than that that have just been talked to.
And we are going to see Chad Sievers come in here. Gilstrap sends this one long. Here's Gray. Up on the right side now.
Well, normally when Sievers goes in, it's for Jeremy Dayton, and maybe after playing, you know, the other night and just 2 nights ago in Pittsburgh, that's exactly what they'll do. And if that happens, you might see Yaisley get up higher. I think if they hadn't played Wednesday, you'd probably see all 3 of them in trying to get the goal back. But I can certainly understand if it's their normal sub. And Chad Sievers certainly knows how to score goals. An outstanding career at Penn State. I think the 9th all-time leading scorer for Penn State, and 1 goal and 2 assists this year.
He's getting set to come in, and Andrew Hoxie is standing ready for a signal to be sent into the competition for Rochester. That will give us another mustache. Bellamy. They feel as though he got out of jail. Got away with hit on Shintaro Harada from behind a few minutes ago.
You see Andrew Hoxie go in for Rochester. You're going to see the average height of the teams out here go up by a few inches. 6'4", outstanding forward for the William and Mary Tribe, and Colonial Athletic Association Player of the Year in 2009. On the year.
Here's Harada. Versailles. Banks. Banks goes back to Kissi. We're in the 68th minute. Still a 2-0 scoreline that we had at halftime.
Yep, I don't care.
Flunder heads that one. And it will get out of play, and now we'll see, I believe we'll see our 2 substitutions, and we will. Andrew Hoxie will come in for Isaac Kissi. And Chad Sievers will come on for Jeremy Dayton. Sievers from Ocean City, New Jersey. Dayton, last year's Rookie of the Year in the league, comes off.
And
Kissi, the first goal scorer of the evening.
Yeah, absolutely. He had an outstanding first half. You didn't see a whole lot of him in this part of the second half, but he certainly played probably maybe his best half of the year. Got a very deserved goal. And, you know, another goal scorer going in for him. So there's no rest for the Pittsburgh defense when Hoxie goes in.
And he should play well off Hamilton. He can hold the ball, keep it, and let Hamilton run off it, and it can be very dangerous here in the last, check me on this, Julie Foudy, 22 minutes remaining.
I'll go with you on that, 22.
Tobin gets his head to that one for Rochester. That does Versailles. And now the temperature's dropped, and it's really a gorgeous evening. It's even prettier when you're a fan of the Rhinos and your team is up 2-0.
Absolutely. Looks like Sammy Appia is hurting right now, and waving over to the bench. And you know, again, we said this a couple times, but Pittsburgh just played a game on Wednesday night where they had to come from behind to beat Dayton 3-1 and spend a lot of energy, and then on the bus on Thursday to get up here. So you got to wonder how much is in the tank right now.
Here's Rosenlund with a shot that's blocked by Ketic. Now here's Harada with some open space in the midfield. Option Cutney on the right. Oh, he pushed that one through looking for Gray.
Yeah, and Gray kind of ran out of a good window for that ball. He's sitting there, and I think that was actually a good decision on the pass, and he runs right out of it. Of course, Gray is a more comfortable wide player right now. They're seeing a lot of interchanging with the Pittsburgh attacking players, and Yeisley is indeed up high. Chad Sievers and Gray and Cutney, kind of 3 midfielders behind them.
Now it's Versailles. J.C. Banks is wide open on the left-hand side, calling for it. So they do find him. He's had a terrific match. Chested into the box, but cleared away. Good idea by Hamilton.
There was some good ball movement for Rochester coming in, and Banks knew exactly where he wanted to put that ball. And Donatelli running right off of the chest.
Throw in here. Hamilton back to Banks. Harada ran right into that one. Banks pays him no mind.
Yeah, check that. That was Roseland running off that chest before.
Tobin and Yeisley. 50-50 struggle there. Rhinos retain possession. Rosenlund trying to get into the box, and Gilstrap comes out outside his 6 to grab that one on a bounce.
Hey fans, would you like your business to run more efficiently? Icon Solutions can help you.
TJ Gore circles back and content to just knock the ball around a little bit.
Or call 1-888-ASK-ICON.
You see Hunter Gilstrap. We talked about his rise from PDL to the pro ranks, and you know, he's one of those guys. There are many in USL who've gone up the pyramid, and you can do that in USL from U12 elite youth teams to USL Pro and hopefully to MISL as well. We're going to see a lot of young talent on display at the Super Y League finals later on this year in Tampa, December 2nd through the 6th. We'll be emulating guys like this. Tony Donatelli, who takes a shot, gets a second chance at it, pushes it through. Will be cleared away by Pittsburgh. More than 130 boys and girls teams and about 2,500 players throughout North America are going to descend on Tampa that first week in December. College, national team, and international club scouts are going to be seeing some outstanding talent on display at the Super Y League North American Finals.
Well, it's certainly one of the things that USL works hard on, is trying to make it, let's say, college coach friendly, you know, to really be something that benefits the college coaches, both on the recruiting side and, of course, with PDL, you know, and these players playing during the summer, something that, you know, for many years there just wasn't anything of quality other than some local leagues in the summertime.
Cutney with an almost chance there at the other end for Pittsburgh, but snuffed out again. And Connor Tobin did well there because Tobin's had a night to remember.
He's done well on both ends. I mean, he obviously had the goal, you know, going in the corner kick, but he has done extremely well defensively. His battle with Yaisley, first with Dayton in the first half, and Yaisley, I mean, you look at those guys that don't, you know, other than the header right at the end of the half, they have not had a shot on goal.
Tough to come by. Tough to come in here and get anything done. This is notoriously a tough place for opposing teams to get points. And the Riverhounds, in fact, have been the team that has struggled to get points on the road. We told you just one win away from home for Louis Rocco and the Riverhounds this season. But they're still in the thick of the playoff hunt. LA winning tonight made things a little bit more difficult. Here's another one sent goalward, and Banks was crashing, but he keeps it in. Banks now. Gilstrap draws a beat on it and grabs it. Launches this along for Yaisley. Yaisley still alive, and oh, they're going to call Yaisley for the foul, and he can't believe it.
I'll tell you what, you almost have to say they're both going at it the whole way down. And, you know, I mean, unless there was something a little different, but look at them going. They're both going at it. I'm sorry, I don't think that's a foul.
No, I think you're right.
I don't think that's a foul.
In fact, he gets, it came after the whistle, I think that. And Yaisley is, we talked about Gilstrap being a big guy. Yaisley's a big guy as well. Let the physical guys play. So Matt Fondy's going to come in now for Ben Horner, 75th.
Now, Fondy's a player that he is an attacking player. He's gone in, you know, for Horner, who was playing outside back, but Fondy also, you know, a wide midfielder naturally, and, you know, somebody that can get in and get a little more attacking going, hopefully, for Pittsburgh. I have to say, Pittsburgh's, you know, done obviously much better second half than first half. They dodged one or two bullets, you know, excellent save earlier by Gilstrap, but, you know, this game could be a one-goal game right now. It's very close to it. And certainly, I think a penalty kick should have happened in their favor, and, you know, had Pittsburgh being able to take care of that, then it's a one-goal game going down to the end, and you never know what happens. 15 minutes remaining right now.
Fondy in from UC Santa Cruz. They're the Banana Slugs, aren't they? Aren't they the Banana Slugs?
You know what? I will say that I'll agree with you if you think they are.
All right. Well, okay. Johannes Marshall is going to come in for Anthony Hamilton. So Bob Lilly actually takes out a forward. Much applause. Puts in Johannes Marshall, a defender. They signed him in June. Hasn't seen a lot of playing time, but
well, he had some time prior with LA Galaxy. And another excellent college player, another Big East for South Florida.
Come on, Rosie. So we'll see what happens here as Cutney sends that one to the top of the box. Harada chases after it, but Tony Donatelli gets there, and he seems to be as fresh as he was in minute one, making things happen. Of course, it's obviously easier when you haven't played two nights before and you're at home. But Donatelli, a very good player. Oh, here's a chance in the box after a miscue at the back. He set up Hoxie, but Gilstrap is right there as the two mustaches nearly collide. I don't know what happens in that regard. Now here's Fondy racing forward, the recent substitute. Oh, he had a good idea to try to push that around Marshall, but couldn't get to it.
So you're coming off the bench right now. You know, you have to try to make your team better and make something happen. If you're a wide player, that's one of the things that they're probably looking for you to do. Try to go at the defense and create something one-on-one and get a cross in or draw defenders out.
There's Hoxie now on the far side touchline. And he'll get dragged down by Sterling Flunder, and that'll be a free kick, and it's going to be a yellow card as well.
And that was a deserving yellow card, and it shows one of the strengths of Hoxie. You know, we're talking about a guy that can hold things off, and he just rolled off of the defender. You watch this again, it really just playing with him there and got the defender to follow his back. And that's a real dangerous thing in a defender when you get so tight that he turns on you. You know, Hoxie is not an easy guy to stay with when he gets a half foot step on you.
Sterling Flunder from Tacoma, Washington. And a free kick now about 18 yards off the goal line, but at an extreme angle. Looks like Donatelli's going to take this one himself. He's got Hoxie as one big target. Marshall in there as well. It's headed out, and it went off the referee as well. J.C. Banks sidesteps a defender, sends a worm burner that never got to Hunter Gilstrap, and it was cleared away. Defense has been a key to Pittsburgh's success, not just last year when they were a league semifinalist, but this year as well. Came in really on that 6-game streak without a loss, playing very well defensively.
No, that is what turned it around, because you're doing well defensively. When you get the ball, you're in good offensive position as well, and so everything's going to go well. When the defense is clicking.
Nice work by Tuttle. Did well to send that one out wide and put in by Cutney, and it's behind for a corner, and we are going to see another substitution. But first, take a look at this nice work here.
Again, a perfectly laid off ball there. It's another dangerous cross, and really puts the defender. I don't know what he thought his teammate was going to do for that, but that was all on him, putting that ball out of bounds for the corner. And Shintaro taking this corner now.
As you see, Stefan Lundberg, another local guy from Duquesne University, comes in for Pittsburgh, and somebody threw a roll of bathroom tissue right as Shintaro Harada was getting set to take that corner kick, and he alertly pulled out of the kick. Now he'll do it again. Harada's corner in the 80th minute, headed towards the goal. Kitson leaps up and barely keeps that ball out of the goal.
Yeah, Chad Severs trying to help him into the goal with the ball, but Kitson with the sure hands.
Shots now 10-6 favoring the Rhinos tonight. So the Riverhounds have had 4 shots here in the second half, and
see the corner kick here going over a deep corner headed back. One problem you have to look at with Pittsburgh is only Chad Severs challenging for that ball coming back across. And you're down 2-0. You got to send everybody in and take chances on that.
Kitson just 6'1", and he needed every inch of it there. 81st minute. Pittsburgh's still alive, but they've got to get something done here. Meanwhile, over in the American Division, latest word is that Wilmington still trails at Charlotte 1-0 with under 10 minutes to play. So the Eagles may be making a late run. That one's going to go down to the wire.
That'll go down, and really it's a 3-horse race here in this division with Rochester, Harrisburg City Islanders, and now LA with the win tonight.
Boy, Harrisburg has been terrific of late, haven't they? I mean, Welker has just been on fire, scoring goals, and they may make things very interesting. If this result holds tonight, obviously Rochester puts a little bit more space. They came in with just that 1-point lead in the National Division. This would push it to 4.
Regardless of what happens with Harrisburg, if they catch Rochester or not, they're finishing the season on a really good note, and that momentum that you take into the playoffs is so big.
Here's Yeisley building some momentum. Still alive in the box. Still Yeisley. Draws a crowd. He just looks like a guy just determined to make something happen. Sami Appia. Fondy now at the edge of the box. Going 1v1. Versailles cleared that one away. And now it's Tobin. Nice build-up, but
it was good. That was
a little too much solo for.
He was trying to find something, wasn't he? Yeah. You know, and kind of couldn't find. Was hoping to get a shot off. And credit to the Rochester defenders for being patient as well, not diving in on him. And you know, then kind of a lazy cross that gets cleared out easily.
You saw T.J. Gore there, one of the guys deputized tonight to play at the back with Troy Roberts and Cuevas Kirk out. Kirk would normally be at that right back position, but T.J. Gore has held down the fort very well tonight.
He's done well, the University of Vermont graduate.
Tyler Bellamy has been lucky. I mean, he's good, but he's also been fortunate that he hasn't been booked yet tonight for a couple of his challenges, and that he didn't give up a penalty to Harada. Header that Kitson had all the way.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, he could have got booked earlier in the game, and then had that been called the penalty, you know, it certainly would have been the second booking.
Game of inches. Neil Kitson. It's back to Nikola Katic. Katic, a big fan of the Rocky movies, and Rocky was a guy who could take some punches and stand in there until the very last round and see if his Riverhound mates have a fighter's chance tonight here with just 7 minutes and change to go. Harada leaves this one for Yaisley. Appia. Now good ball movement by Pittsburgh, but is it too little too late? It's Appia. Justin Evans has made 4 substitutions. He had a little bit of a thin bench tonight, so there may not be reinforcements coming. Fondy went down at the edge of the box, and we play on. Donatelli to Banks. Gore finds Rosenlund in the 84th minute. Harada hits him from behind. Maybe something on here. Jason Cutney to Appia. Balletic move there, and Appia swings it far post. Headed on, in front, and another save by Neil Kitson. Matt Fondy with the outside of his boot. Thought he might have made it 2-1.
Yeah, and this cross from Appia gets in behind the defense, and here's Yaisley doing the smart thing right back across, and there's Fondy almost getting it, forcing Kitson into another save, and another excellent chance. I mean, they've had their chances to get the goals, and you know, if there's any positive to come out of it coming up here, they haven't always got those chances. So just one of them goes in, there's still time, 5.5 minutes left, you get a goal, and you know, it's a downhill field for 5 minutes.
Oh, stay with us, because this one is far from over as the Riverhounds keep the pressure on. And a giveaway here. Cutney at the edge of the box. Yaisley goes to the side. Oh, and he's just, oh, that's Fondy rather. They look very similar hairstyles.
Yeah, again, watch this cross, a cross that really just got over the keeper, and he's almost sneaking in at the back post. Fondy getting there and trying to find something to do. It's probably a ball you have to knock back. It's going to be a very difficult one to put in as it's almost out of bounds. You see Bob Lilly here. If things hold for the next 4.5 minutes, it'll be Bob Lilly's 200th win, and congratulations to him should this hold. And USL Hall of Famer and well-deserved. A good player in his own right. I had the opportunity to play 1 year with him and club ball in Washington, and had a tremendous coaching career as well. And wish him the best of luck as the rest of the season goes. And if this holds, congratulations, Bob, on 200.
With more to come. He's only 45 years old. Already a USL Hall of Famer. And said he hopes to stay here in Rochester and make great things happen. Of course, he had success in Hershey for 5 years. He was Coach of the Year in his inaugural season. Went to the final in 2001 where he lost to the Rhinos. Won a title in Vancouver. Had success in Montreal. Even coached indoors a little bit, where he was a player for many years, an indoor player. And his team now just about 4 minutes and change away from notching 3 more points and their 10th victory of the season. They've never had fewer than 11 wins in a full season since the inception of the franchise. Now the Riverhounds Geisley looking to pounce. Third away by Tobin, who's there again. Parada. Everybody pushing forward. 10 guys near the box. Fondi drives one in. Geisley tries to turn. Tobin will not let him. Fondi again. Gets around Costanzo. Loose ball in the box. It's bouncing around like bumper pool in there.
There's a lot of players in there. You got to get that cross in behind that whole group. Otherwise, it's more of a kick and a hope that it does bounce somewhere. But a lot of pressure right now, offsides on that cross. And, might be a little too late on the pressure, but certainly Pittsburgh not giving up at all.
We'll see Will Trainer come on now.
You will now be able to take that excitement across America for a free wine tasting of 2 free bottles of wine.
Trainer doesn't get a lot of playing time. This will just be his 9th appearance of the season. He's going to come on for Tony Donatelli, who should get a nice hand.
Donatelli had an excellent game, and Trainer going in. He was a Conference USA first-team player from South Carolina, played for Mark Burson, and excellent college career, and taking it into the pros now. Donatelli coming off. Very impressive night for Donatelli.
Well, Trainer's in. His brother Jack may be watching down in Orlando.
Jack, who played at Notre Dame for Bobby Clark.
So each team's made 4 of their allotted 5 substitutions. I don't think we will see anybody else get into this match. As Hunter Gilstrap will get a goal kick, but the long way to go. About from where he's placed the ball, about 114 yards to the other goal. And Neil Kitson is the man in the way, along with 10 other guys in white shirts.
Play, go forward! Rosie, run forward!
We've reached the 89th minute.
Another minute left and probably a few minutes of added time.
Pittsburgh
with a deep throw in their own end.
There is 1 minute remaining in the half. Just as a reminder, the clock will stop at the 90-minute mark. Stoppage time.
Rolko now. Sent to the far side. Can Pittsburgh find anything before the 3 whistles?
It was Lundberg almost playing a through ball. He had a couple good runs, Geisley going through and Sievers, and just cut off by the Rochester defense that they've been doing most of the night.
Launched by Kadich, grabbed by Kitson. Costanzo comes up with this loose ball. Rosenlund now for Rochester. Marshall. Here's Rosenlund by his lonesome. Kadich will close him down, try to force that one through. Oh, and Rosenlund goes down, and a soft penalty and a yellow card as well.
I'm telling you, that is going to be a hard one to take for Pittsburgh after not getting the penalty on the other end. Let's have a look at this. Rosenlund making the move, and defender getting in the front of it. Unlucky that the ball comes back. It certainly was a foul as well, and it's going to be hard to take just because they didn't get it at the other end, not because it wasn't a good call.
I think it's harsh, though.
Yeah. You get in the 90th minute extra time, but still a foul. And you'd rather they didn't have to call it, I'm sure.
Well, Justin Evans has had better days at the dentist. Andrew Hoxie. And Hoxie adds insult to injury time with a penalty kick.
He does, and he had to kick that as well as he did because that goal was covered quite well. Gilstrap almost gets his hand to it, and the ball nicks the inside of the post and goes in, and Hoxie does what he does best, scores goals, his 4th of the year. We'll have another look at it, and just look how close this was to being saved, and almost gets a finger on it and needed every bit of the goal as he could get to put that ball in.
As far as he's concerned, it was perfectly placed. Now Marshall, loose ball, and Kitson keeps it out of the goal again. Even when it looks like for certain that ball's going in the net, it just simply will not go in for Pittsburgh.
No, Kitson has done that several times tonight, and not just tonight, but all season. One of the top keepers, two of the top keepers in the league that we're watching tonight. And I just have to say that while I'm not sure 3-0 is fair based on the second half, it's certainly a deserved win for Rochester all around.
Maybe more. Rosenlund. He set up the most recent one.
But of course, had the penalty been called on the other end earlier, then everything changes. The whole momentum and the whole part of the game and the outlook changes, and both teams have to do things a lot different.
That's football, as they say. Not in this shores, obviously. Final 30 seconds or so of stoppage time, although only Steve Montanino knows for certain. If that goal may add a little bit more time, we'll see. Cutney. Isley got his head to that one before Fondy could get there. Marshall did for Rochester. So with the win, Rochester will improve to 9-6-3, and there was nothing after the 3. And that is it. Win number 200 in the illustrious career of Bob Lilly. And it is a comprehensive win, 3-0 over a very game Pittsburgh Riverhounds squad. And now Justin Evans is letting Steve Montanino hear about it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Justin can be upset about that, but you can't think about just one play. Rochester will deserve this game tonight, period.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the USL Pro Game of the Week here on Fox Soccer. In 2 weeks, we'll be in Wilmington.